Hi there, I'm Chef Lauren Smith, and this is Comfort Food with a Conscience, where we explore how to cook your favorite comfort foods, but in a way that supports conscious eating, sustainable health, and agriculture. Today we're going to be making a mac and cheese. Can you think of anything more comforting? It's great for kids, it's great for adults, it's a staple in the American diet. Unfortunately, pasta, manufactured cheese sauces, things of those sort aren't so great for us. But what we're going to do is show you a nice healthy way to make it at home and a great way to hide a full serving of a broad range of vegetables in it for picky eaters. You know what I'm talking about, those little kids. So stay tuned for this one. It's really fun and it's a great recipe to have in your culinary arsenal. So the first thing we need to do is get our pasta on. I have a big pot of water going with about a tablespoon's worth of salt in it, going at a rolling boil. It's really important for pasta that the water is at a rolling boil to get it cooked properly. Now this is a quinoa pasta and they're little elbows, just how kids like them. You could use any kind you like. But we're gonna let this cook for about 20 minutes. It kind of takes longer. The base of this is quinoa, but there's also corn flour, and essentially it's a nice whole grain gluten-free pasta. So you can use any kind of your choice, of brown rice pasta, sorghum, anything like that. So we're gonna let that pasta keep rolling for about 10 minutes and we'll check it. We want it just al dente before we use it. We're gonna bake this pasta for about 10 minutes at the end, so get your oven going at about 350. Get that preheated so you don't have to worry about it. So on another pan, I have a tablespoon's worth of a really good olive oil going on a medium heat. And I'm gonna add to that 2 cloves of garlic minced plus another half a cup of diced white onions. We're just gonna get that sauteing and sweating. Okay, so let these veggies keep sweating. And remember to stir the pasta every now and then. It's not a typical gluten pasta, so it will stick to the bottom of the pot. Okay. Next in our little pan of veggies goes a cup's worth of some yellow squash, just roughly chopped, and then another half a cup's worth of carrot. Both rich in vitamins and nutrients, and they add beautiful color to the sauce because we're going to end up pureeing these. So you just want to coat these veggies with oil. We want to get them nice and soft. This will take about 5 minutes. Just keep stirring them. But in the meantime, as you add layers to this dish, you want to season each time. So a nice sprinkle of salt and some nice fresh cracked pepper. There's a good tip. If everything starts getting too dry in here, because if you don't want to keep adding oil to it, because that's just more and more fat, right? You can add some water straight out of your pasta dish right on into the pan. Great way to add moisture. So those veggies are just starting to soften. And to that, we're going to add about a cup's worth of organic cannellini beans. It's a white bean. It's a great way to add protein into your kids' life. If they're really picky eaters and they don't like meat, beans are fantastic. You don't have to use cannellini. You could use kidney, you could use garbanzo, pinto, whatever your choice is. So you'll see these beans serve as a great binder for the sauce. Instead of doing eggs or cream and lots of milk and flour, these veggies blended up become thick. And we'll adjust it just perfectly with almond milk. So everything's nice and combined in there. The next thing we'll do is add about 1.25 cups worth of a nice organic almond milk. And I have extra just in case I need to adjust the consistency of the sauce later on. So I'm going to crank the heat up to a high. I really want this to get hot. Because what'll happen is these veggies will start getting softer, the beans will start breaking down, and it'll be really easy to blend in our food processor later for the sauce. We'll let it simmer for about 4 minutes on a nice high heat to really break those veggies down. And you can cover it too to make it faster, especially if you're a mom on the go. Okay, so my pasta is nice and al dente. I'm going to take it off the heat. We're just going to strain it through a little colander here. Okay. Just going to transfer my pasta into an oven-safe dish. So when I say al dente, when we're going to bake it, it's actually a really one little step before al dente. So there should be some give to your tooth, but not any crunch. Alrighty, so I'm going to uncover my sauce here. It's going really nicely. And the important thing is that the carrots, because they're the most hard vegetable in this mix, we want to make sure the carrots are nice and soft. So we're going on about 4 minutes here. They still have a little bit of crunch. So I'm going to give it about 2 more minutes with the lid on. Then we're going to blend it up, make it a little cheesy, and turn this into mac and cheese. Okay, so our veggies should be just about ready. Like I said, we want everything nice and soft. Just give it a little stir and take it off the heat. And I have one of those kind of handy dandy Costco style blenders. This is a food processor with 2 blades. But really, you just want something that's going to be able to puree up these veggies really nicely. So like a good quality blender, a nice food processor, anything of that sort. So let's just get these veggies right on in. Be careful because there's liquid and then the veggies. Okay, so to this, we're gonna add a 1.5 cups worth of a really nice aged English style cheddar. Do stay away from the American cheddars that are kind of lesser quality and are like bright orange. That's coloring and that's bad stuff. These cheeses, they've been aged, so you're less prone to have an allergic response to them, easier on digestion, just a higher quality ingredient altogether. If you can't do milk, you can use a nice goat's milk because that's very friendly to the human stomach. You can use a manchego, something that has sheep in it, or you can even go kind of hardcore and use one of the vegan cheeses like an almond cheese, a soy cheese, something along those lines. So this just goes right in. And when we make it like this, we don't have to add 3 cups of cheese like a traditional fondue style sauce would call for a homemade mac and cheese. Let's just get our lid on. And I want to blend this for at least a minute. I want this like really silky smooth. So here we go. Okay, so that was just about a minute. And you'll see it's nice and silky smooth. I'm gonna get rid of the blades. And honestly, it looks just like a cheese sauce. Kids would never know that there's a bunch of veggies in there. So I'm just gonna pour it right on over my macaroni. And you can give it a little stir just so the shells get covered with the sauce. Because they're little elbows, we can get the sauce in the middle of the little hollow hole in the pasta. And it's nice that we have a little bit more sauce to pasta ratio here, because when we bake it, it's gonna firm up a little bit. But who doesn't like extra saucy mac and cheese, right? Okay. Just like that. And we're gonna top it off with a really nice quality Parmigiano Reggiano. It's a really high quality aged cheese. Now it is a cow's milk, but it's hard and it's been aged for so long that typically people with milk allergies don't have much of a problem with it. Like I said, you could always do a manchego, any other kind of hard cheese that's from a different animal like cow or sheep, or I'm sorry, sheep or goat. So I'm gonna give it a really liberal coat right on top. I'm using a nice little microplaner. If you don't have one of these, just use a grater on the finest grate and make yourself at least a cup's worth of this. And we're just gonna go all the way around the pasta. Okay, so I'm gonna top it off just for looks, but flavor as well, with a little bit of fresh chopped chives. Chives have a beautiful, amazing oniony flavor. Now, if your kids hate anything green, of course you can omit them, but this is a great way to get them into the idea of having some color in their food. Now, this is about a tablespoon's worth. You could do parsley, you could do fresh thyme, anything you like. So remember, our oven's on 350. I'm gonna pop this in for about 10 minutes. We want the cheese to melt and get a little bit of color and nice and bubbly and gooey, and we're gonna have some amazing baked mac and cheese. Okay, so our pasta's been baking for about 10 minutes, and you'll see it has a beautiful golden brown crust on it. It's bubbly, it's cheesy, it's mac and cheese time. Okay, take a look at that. It's actually sizzling and talking to me. It's pretty amazing. We're just gonna finish it off with the last little bit of these chives, just so there's some bright green. And then we're gonna take that Parm Reg, do another fresh little coating of that right on top. Okay, and here we go. This is it. Your beautiful gluten-free mac and cheese with those quinoa pasta shells. We have a beautiful cheese sauce that's hardly any cheese in it. Mostly nice veggies and beans. Again, a great way to hide protein. And speaking of that, if you do have a family that's okay with protein, do a little bit of meat in here. An easy, simple way to do it is to grab an organic rotisserie chicken from your natural grocer, tear off the skin, chop it up a little bit, and mix it in with this. It's perfect. Anything like that. Chicken sausage, get a little extra protein into your life. This is so simple, so easy to do, and you can play around with it. Try some of your favorite veggies in this. It's not gonna hurt, trust me. So I hope you guys try this one at home, and I hope you try it with your kids, especially the picky ones. It's definitely kid tested. So thanks again for watching. This is Comfort Food with a Conscience. We'll see you next time.